San Fran Niner fan says we've seen Jimmy when the run game isn't there. Stop the cap. Everyone, Stafford is multiple times better than Jimmy. It's obvious to objective people. Yeah, I mean, I would say so. It was fun to get those tweets off yesterday, though, and rub it in on
Oh
Rams
yeah,
fans.
100%. I love it. I love it because I'll take the L on it too. Because I'm ecstatic about it. I was really upset when the Rams got Stafford out because I wanted the Niners to get him. So I love it.
No, I love what I like so much about our show is that there's football is such an emotional game, and analyzing it, even when you're not a fan, that the day of is hard to separate the emotion from it. And Monday is the day that you do that. You haven't moved on. It's the 24-hour rule. You haven't moved on to the next game, but you can evaluate it dispassionately, and that's what you're good at. That's what we're
Yeah,
good
I
at.
mean, yeah, like yesterday, if you hadn't, that's what I don't understand how you do the show right after the game. Because
It's hard.
if you
So I
had
like wake up
me
the next day. I'm
yesterday,
like,
I'd
ooh,
be taking my
yeah.
shots at Stafford.
Yeah, no, but because I was thinking, I'm not thinking like really the Rams, their problem is that they don't help him. Right? He's got
Yeah,
a great receiver, a kind of an older receiver who used to be great. And what else? A good tight end. Where is your run game? McVay, how are you helping this man?
and
What happened?
I thought the one thing they have done well for the entirety of the season is they were able to pass protect at a pretty good high rate, and he navigates the pocket really well. Yesterday, got their butts kicked up front. It wasn't just Armstead. I thought was the best football player on the field yesterday, but Bosa dominated them. Key dominated them. Street dominated them. Givens dominated them. The Niners could have put Grant Cohn as their fourth defensive end, and it felt like he would get pressure on the quarterback too. They were
I wouldn't
all
have.
kicking their butts.
I wouldn't have. Look, McVay is very good, but ever since Todd Gurley's knee turned into sawdust and CJ Anderson lost his magic mojo or whatever, like that team just hasn't been scary to me at all. And
Yeah,
they need a running back. They need a freaking running back. And I don't know,
they
Cam
do
Akers.
have one. I
Maybe
believe in
Cam
Cam
Akers will be
Akers.
that guy
Yeah,
and he
I
needs
think
some
he's that
time,
guy.
but they can't put all their eggs in that. Anyway, we don't talk about the Rams. That team is such a disappointment. Not that I was rooting for them or anything. It was like, again, 6 times. Was it 6 times in a row now?
Yeah, 6 in a row. That's pretty embarrassing.
How much will Kyle Shanahan knowing Dan Quinn's defensive scheme come into play next Sunday? You were saying that. I mean, sure it will, but you said that
Yeah,
he's
but
kind of changed
they
his
don't play
philosophy.
defense the way they play defense. Like he knows that scheme up and down the Seattle scheme. But also, I think Dan Quinn. It goes both ways. I think Dan Quinn has a better clue. I mean, to be fair, Raheem Morris is supposed to have a clue of this run game, and it got to the point where I think at least in Raheem Morris's case, the Rams personnel just doesn't match up with the Niners' power and physicality because they're just small and fast because they're looking to stop the pass game first. That's their philosophical idea. So it becomes a real problem if the Niners are able to start running the ball because even if like a lot of plays the Rams were fitting the run correctly, they were all over it. And it was just a product of the Niners were just more physical. So, you hit the guy Elijah Mitchell at 2 yards and he ends up gaining 7 because you have a 215-pound safety meeting him in the C gap. And so that's kind of what happens. And so at least in Dallas's case, they have a lot more size, right? Micah Parsons is 250 pounds. So I do think that Dallas will have a little bit of an advantage there because they'll be able to meet this run game. I mean, Dan Quinn did a good Dan Quinn and Raheem Morris when they were in Atlanta 2019 did a very good job playing the
True.
Niners offense.
That is true because look, Kyle knows them. They know him. Michael says that was like the most obvious thing ever, right? I said it like it was deep. Michael says D'Amico did an excellent job. Ike has become the player that I envisioned. Op equals results, opportunities. Jennings great against man coverage. Run game is reliable as rain. Yeah, Jennings is better than I thought he would be. I never really saw much from him in training camp that led me to believe he'd be a guy who'd have 94 yards and 2 touchdowns in a game. But Kyle really trusts him. It's just like his little secret
Yeah.
weapon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, he was the one that was getting the advantageous matchups yesterday. Honestly, like I didn't expect the receiving
He's the one who's
production from
caught the
him too.
touchdown drive from Jimmy, the
Right,
touchdown pass at the end of the game, last 2 times from Jimmy, right?
right,
That's his
right,
guy. Well, no,
right.
Ayuk did it too. No, so where was I'm sorry, I'm confused. I don't
Jennings
know.
caught the big pass for Cincinnati, the little back
There you
shoulder
go.
slot fade.
Bingo. There it is. Yep. All right.
Yeah,
But
but
D'Amico is
the
killing
one
it.
thing that stood out to me about Jennings, I don't think that gets talked enough. Like people say Alan Lazard is the best blocking receiver in the NFL. I think Jauan Jennings is the best blocking receiver in the NFL.
Oh,
Jauan
that's high
Jennings
praise.
kicks ass in the run game.
Remember when people were praising Jalen Hurd from that back in training
Yeah.
camp 3 years ago or
Has he
whatever?
got in a fight?
Yeah, or whatever. Like Jennings is the real deal. And I think Tennessee fans could have told us this years ago. Tristan said, I've looked back, University of Tennessee. I've looked back at the 3 seed in the NFC playoffs every year, and they have been very disappointing first round exit every year since 2016. I guess Niner fans have found a stat. Second person
Yeah.
who's brought it up. Hey, that's cool. You
I
don't
love
want to
them
be a
too
third
because
seed.
I hate Dallas. So
What about the 6 seed though? I don't know. Again, Kittle underutilized as a receiver. Thoughts?
I don't think he was really
Forced it to him a couple
underutilized. I
times
mean,
on
you have
those
to go back
picks.
and see the film, but like
10 targets. You got 10 targets.
right,
I think
if I catch
5
for 10
catches,
yards,
10 yards.
right. One of them should have been a pick. It literally went through Von Miller's hands, and Kittle ended up catching it for like a 6-yard loss. But
That's true. That is true. Wolf Life Wild says Niner. I don't have a theory on that. I guess it's something to monitor. But he still looks good to me. I mean, it was just last month that he was like carrying the 49ers
I thought
when
he
Debo
kicked
was
butt
hurt.
in the run game too. I thought he
Yeah.
kicked
Yeah.
butt in the run game.
Wolf Life Wild says Niner put it all together at the best time when others seem to be dwindling. True. Corner is situated. Seems like it. We're healthy. Mostly. Offensive weapons have emerged. Yeah, the team continues to peak. They've won 7 of 9. 7 of 9 after losing 4 in a row. So that's
7 of
impressive.
9. Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
I mean,
I mean,
I didn't-
I think the only thing that makes people any skeptical about the 49ers is that we've seen games where they just seem to inexcusably
They lost to Colt McCoy. I can't get over that. They lost twice to Seattle. I can't get over that. So do I think they're going to win the Super Bowl? Probably not. But, I'm open to it. I'd like to cover another Super Bowl. It was fun.
I think they got a great shot.
They got a great
especially
shot.
with the
Put it that
NFC.
way.
Yeah.
See, that's a savvy way to put it. Randy says Jimmy's offseason value goes up. Not because of his numbers, but because of how he makes people feel. That was hilarious. I liked it.
I mean, he made McVay so mad he pulled the fire alarm. So
That was so weird. Mid Jimmy Garoppolo press conference, they were just like, you know what, shut this down. You're done. Since the year 2000, name the 4 wildcard teams who have won the Super Bowl. Don't forget to name the year too. I don't want to do the year, but it's
Green Bay
Giants.
2010.
What? Green Bay
Or
2010.
Green Bay 2011. Giants 2007. No, Giants 2007 won the division, right? No, Dallas won the division that year. Giants 2007.
Yeah.
Giants 2000. Oh no, Green Bay 2010. Giants 2011, and
Pittsburgh?
then yes, Pittsburgh 2005.
Yeah. And again, those teams are all situated close to each other because what I've noticed is when on that side of the country, east of the Mississippi, everything is hella close to each other. And then when you come west of the Mississippi, everything's hella spread out. And so for the
Right.
West Coast teams, it's like, all right, you start with Dallas. That's about 3,000 miles round trip. And then if you're lucky, you get to go to Green Bay. That's about 5,000 miles round trip. And then you get to go to Tampa, which is 6,000 miles round trip. It adds up. It's tough.
And you have to usually win games in the East Coast in weather. That's the thing, right? Like the only other thing I think with the Niners is I think on a neutral field today they could actually beat Green Bay. I don't know if they can walk into Lambeau and beat them there. Because if you look
I don't know if they will. They can. If Jimmy doesn't throw 2 picks.
I think they got the best shot of going into Lambeau and beating them. No way Dallas beats them. I don't think the Rams beat them. I definitely don't think Tampa beats them this year.
I don't think the Rams have the run game to be a real contender. I think they're fraudulent. Now, maybe they'll get the run game next year, but this year, Sony Michel ain't getting it done. Cam Akers ain't getting it done. I'm sorry. Maybe they have someone else that I don't know about. Sean says it's his superpower, Grant. He's a real-life Christopher Reeves. He needs a villain to play the hero. He's just his own villain.
Who's this, Jimmy G?
Jimmy? That's funny. Yeah, I suppose. Bono says since the year 2000, name the 4 wildcard teams. We got that one. Sorry, Bo, but we did it.
Did we get it right, though?
I think we got it right. Jimmy is a heart attack and the EMT. Yeah, man. He has the problem and the solution at the same time.
Yeah.
It's just, to me, like, look. His 4th quarter was crazy, dude. Like, that pick was so bad. In the end zone,
right?
Yeah, like, dude, he wasn't open. You were in field. I think it was on first down.
He also threw it like a good 1.5 yards behind him.
It was terrible. It was just inexcusable. And then he makes up for it. Like 10 minutes later. Okay. All right. Of course. Very Eli Manning-esque. Because to me, I felt like Stafford, as that game went on, kind of got discouraged and all of a sudden he started making the erratic throws down the field. Or Mullins would get discouraged and get tight. Like, Jimmy is just so oblivious and above it, which is great. So it's amazing. It's by far his best quality, not his quick release. Forget whatever. The quick release is fine. That is his best quality. It
He
allows him
doesn't feel anything. He doesn't
and, you
seem to
know,
feel
maybe if
pressure.
Kyle
He
hadn't
doesn't.
called the deep throw that he won't call for Jimmy anymore in the Super Bowl, maybe if Kyle had a better feel for how to call, that situation for Jimmy, they would have won because they
But
wouldn't call like
that's
that
the
anymore.
only time I felt like he looked rattled. The Super Bowl, I
Yes,
legitimately felt like he was rattled by the moment, the situation, the Chiefs
yes,
hitting him, all of
yes.
that, the looks he was getting. I didn't. I've never felt like he was like that.
No. Maybe he's actually better for maybe he has improved. I don't know. We'll see. He's thrown 2 touchdowns and 4 picks in the last 2 games. Let's not over sentimentalize what he's doing right now.